Today I'm going to talk about copy non-associative. It's a new function in NX 2312 series. So it allows you to copy data across from a file or an assembly and paste it in a new file without any associativity. So if I'm working in the context of one file, want to extract data out, put it in another file, open side by side like this, or I'll show you right now. If I come in and open. So if I were to say, I want to take something out of this file and move it into the next file without any associativity, I can come in and begin grabbing. I'll do a face. I'll pick this face. I'll reset, and I'm going to pick a curve and a point. And go into menu, edit, copy non-associative. You'll notice it is Control-Alt-C, but for the sake of this lecture, I'll keep going back to this. Now, when I go into the part file, all I have to do is Control-V, and it's brought all that stuff across. Also note, it is non-associative. Okay, it does exactly what it says it's going to do. Go back into the plate file. Now, this time I'm going to pick the sketch. And I'll select a datum, and again I'll pick, say, a couple of faces. Menu, we'll go into edit, copy non-associative. Now this time it's going to give me a message. The message is saying not all the selected objects can be copied. Do you want to continue? So as it stands right now, I can't take the sketch across, but I can filter out for the curves in the sketch and take those across. And the same thing with the datum. So I'm going to select OK. What's going to happen is it's going to deselect those from my selection. So when I do my paste, all I get are the faces. So if I wanted to take the sketch over, I can't do the sketch, but I can take the curves of the sketch. Okay, so I'll go in there, edit, copy, non-associative, and paste. And just like that, no issues. And again, you'll note that I have all of those lines. Datums, I can't take datums across non-associatively as well. Now, as far as, let me go ahead and delete all this. As far as back in the context of the assembly, if I come in and say, well, you know what, I'm working in the context of an assembly, I have this plate and I have these 4 pins, and I want to take these solid bodies and move them into the separate part file without having any history. I'll come in here and I'll say solid body, pick this guy, this one, and this one. And now I'll do my copy non-associative. Notice I don't get any messages, anything comes up, everything is just fine. But this is where, when I do my paste, what happens is it's pasted the bodies. Right? These aren't components any longer, these are separate bodies. But I initially had selected these 4 pins in their respective locations in the assembly, but when I pasted them over from the assembly level to the part level, you'll note that it only brought 1 pin over, right? It took basically the original location and simply pasted that over without bringing over the 4 bodies in the appropriate location, okay? So this is one of those things I do believe needs to be worked on. Maybe it's working as initially intended. One way to get around this is you can, within the context of the assembly, again, maybe I don't want to bring this into the assembly. Okay, this is a workaround. So as far as a workaround, maybe you can do something like wave geometry linker, and then extract the bodies. So now I have my linked bodies. So if I were to pick my linked bodies and go into menu, edit, copy non-associative, come over here, let me delete these, and paste. You'll note that I have all of the data. Because it's no longer relying on the position of the component from that assembly level. I've copied those bodies over and I've brought them across. So this is a little workaround. Again, maybe it's something that gets solved in the next version or updates or whatever, because Siemens is really good about that stuff. But I'm a big fan of this because there are a lot of times where I do want to copy something from one file without having any sort of link, any sort of history, any sort of anything. And if I were to do make-believe, actually, let me take and add this component in. Select OK. Let me get rid of these 4 bodies. Okay. I'm in here. Let me get rid of these 4 bodies. And even though I could, whoops, let me do this. Even though I could technically go into my copy here and then do my wave geometry linker, say body, I can say turn off associative and then bring these in. Select my OK. I can go in here. Notice it has linked bodies. So it's doing something different. Okay, so it says linked body. If I want to, I can go back and relink. But there are times where you want an actual break, right? I don't want a link body. I don't want this. I don't want that. That's happened to me quite a bit over the years, where I want an actual clean break. I don't want to have any of these kinds of potential links, even though even in NX is great. I can go back and create links and reassociate things. It's great. But there may be times where I don't want any links. I don't even want the opportunity for a link to potentially occur or something along those lines because of positioning, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe you don't want to add the part to the assembly and then delete the part out, because sometimes that can be weird and cause potential issues depending on what you're doing, because there may be links to other things. Who knows? But as far as being able to copy non-associatively and then paste, it's a great first step. And as I said, I'm very, very happy it's there. This is something that I know that I will use going forward. It's just kind of remembering it. So, but it's in there, the copy non-associative. Again, Control-Alt-C.